that is article the. Okay, we are going to see around more than 36 English grammar topics. More than 36 English grammar topics. So out of these all topics, our today's first topic is article the. Article the. So where we use article the? So as I told you that we use the article to talk about the common noun. It means the article the is used before the common nouns. Before the common noun, it means so what are the common nouns and what are the proper nouns? As we have seen it, like common nouns, it means a word which names a person, place, or thing in common is called a common noun, and a word which names a person, place, or thing in particular is called a proper noun. So we use the article only before the common nouns, not before the proper nouns. So this was very important rule for you. And what is the meaning of the and what is the meaning of a or an? The book, it means what? A particular book. And a book, it means what? Any book. The laptop, it means particular laptop. And a laptop, it means any laptop. So if you want to talk about the things, persons, and places in particular, then we have to use the article. And if you want to talk about persons, places, and things in general, then you have to use a or an article. All right. So the first rule I'm going to tell you about the article, that whenever you want to make things, places, or persons particular, then we use the article. Just repeat after me. Open the door.
Open the door.
Close the door.
Close the door.
Ask the question.
Ask the question.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Turn on the fan.
Turn on the fan.
Turn off the fan.
Turn off the fan.
Go to the bank.
Go to the bank.
Visit the bank manager.
Visit the bank manager.
Get the loan application.
Get the loan application.
Fill out the loan application.
Sorry, sir.
Fill out the loan application.
Fill out the loan application.
Attach the documents.
Attach the documents.
Submit the loan application.
Submit the
loan application.
Loan application.
Visit the bank after 15 days.
Visit the bank after 15 days.
Get the loan amount check.
Get the loan amount check.
Go to the builder.
Go to the builder.
Select the property.
Select the property.
Give the loan amount check.
Give the loan amount check.
Get the ready possession of the flat.
Get the ready possession of the flat.
In these all sentences, we have made something, some places, or some persons particular. Now next, if the first sentence has a common noun and the same common noun is repeated in the next sentence, then in the next sentence we use the article. Okay, like I ate, just repeat after me, I ate a mango.
I ate a mango.
The mango was tasty.
The mango was tasty.
In this way, first sentence we have used a mango, and that mango is repeated in the next sentence, so we have used the mango. Okay, I asked a question.
I asked a question.
The question was difficult.
The question was difficult.
He watched a movie.
He watched a movie.
The movie was interesting.
The movie was interesting.
Okay, I met an officer.
I met an officer.
The officer was corrupt.
The officer was corrupt.
I published a book.
I published a book.
The book was on English literature.
The book was on English literature.
Got it? Now third. Third is, if you want to talk about the universal truth, like the sun, the moon, then we always use the article. Okay. The sun rises in the east.
The sun rises in the east.
The moon sets in the east.
The moon sets in the east.
The earth moves around the sun.
The earth moves around the sun.
And if you want to talk about some expressions like middle of the, front of the, back of the, edge of the, then we usually use the article. Okay, just repeat after me. This is the middle of the floor.
This is the middle of the floor.
That is the middle of the floor.
That is the middle of the floor.
Okay, now you make the sentences quick. This is the middle of the floor.
This is the middle of the floor. This is the front of the floor. This is the back of the floor. This is the edge of the floor. This is the corner of the floor. This is the side of the floor. This is the top of the floor.
Ahmed, that is the middle of the table.
That is the middle of the table. That is the front of the table. That is the back of the table. that is the edge of the table, that is the corner of the table, that is the side of the table, that is the top of the table.
This is the back of the letter.
This is the back of
This
the
is the middle of
letter.
the letter.
Okay, this is the middle of the letter. This is the front of the letter. This is the back of the letter. This is the edge of the letter. This is the corner of the letter. This is the side of the letter. This is the top of the letter.
Okay.
That is the middle of the book. That is the front of the book. That is the back of the book. That is the edge of the book. That is the corner of the book. That is the side of the book. That is the top of the book. This is the middle of the house. This is the front of the house. This is the back of the house. This is the edge of the house. This is the corner of the house. This is the side of the house. This is the top of the house. That is the middle of the desk. That is the front of the desk. That is the back of the desk. That is the edge of the desk. That is the corner of the desk. That is the side of the desk. That is the top of the desk.
Okay, now make the negative sentences. This is not the middle of the floor.
Okay, this is not the middle
of the floor.
This is not the middle of the floor. This is not the front of the floor. This is not the back of the floor. This is not the edge of the floor. This is not the corner of the floor. This is not the side of the floor. This is not the top of the floor. That is not the middle of the floor. That is not the front of the floor.
That is not the middle of the table. Use table.
That is not the middle of the table. That is not the front of the table. That is not the back of the letter. That is not the back of the table. That is not the edge of the table. That is not the corner of the table. That is not the side of the table. That is not the top of the table.
Correct. This is not the middle of the
this is not the middle of the letter. This is not the front of the letter. This is not the back of the letter. This is not the edge of the letter. This is not the corner of the letter. This is not the side of the letter. This is not the top of the letter.
Got it? Now next is questions. Just make the questions. Is this the middle of the floor?
Is this
so first is this is the middle of the floor. म्हणजे हा फ्लोअरचा मधला भाग आहे. This is not the floor of middle of the floor. हा फ्लोअरचा मधला भाग नाही. Is this the middle of the floor? हा फ्लोअरचा मधला भाग आहे का? In this way. Okay.
Is this the middle of the floor? Is this the front of the floor? Is this the back of the floor? Is this the edge of the floor? Is this the corner of the floor? Is this the side of the floor? Is this the top of the floor? Right. Is that the middle of the table? Is that the front of the table? Is that the back of the table? Is that the edge of the table? Is that the corner of the table? Is that the side of the table? Is that the top of the table? Is this the back of the letter? Is this the edge of the letter? Is this the back of the letter? Is this the edge of the letter? Is this the corner of the letter? Is this the side of the letter? Is this the top of the letter? Is this the middle of the
is
book?
Is that the middle of the book?
Is that the middle of the book? Is that the front of the book? Is that the back of the book? Is that the edge of the book? Is that the corner of the book? Is that the side of the book? Is that the top of the book? Is this the middle of the house? Is this the front of the house? Is this the back of the house? Is this the edge of the house? Is this the corner of the house? Is this the side of the house? Is this the top of the house? Is that the middle of the desk? Is that the front of the desk? Is that the back of the desk? Is that the edge of the desk? Is that the corner of the desk? Is that the side of the desk? Is that the top of the desk?
Got it. Okay. In this way, we talked about the article in the fourth rule. Now, next rule. Okay. In this way, you can use many. Just answer me now. Yes, this is the front of the table, and no, this is not the front of the table. Okay. Is this the front of the table?
Yes, this is the front of the table. No, this is not the front of the table.
Is this the heart of the city?
Yes, this is the heart of the city. No, this is not the heart of the city.
Is this the bottom of the hill?
Yes, this is the bottom of the hill. No, this is not the bottom of the hill.
Is this the top of the hill?
Yes, this is the top of the hill. No, this is not the top of the hill.
Is this the center of the mall?
Yes, this is the center of the mall. No, this is not the center of the mall.
Is this the beginning of the movie?
Yes, this is the beginning of the movie. No, this is not the beginning of the movie.
Is this the end of the movie?
Yes, this is the end of the movies. No, this is not the end of the movies.
Is this the impact of the movie?
Yes, this is the impact of the movie. No, this is not the impact of the movie.
Got it? So in
Yes.
this way, we talked about all the article. Okay. Now we are going to work on a or an article. We are going to work on a or an article. So where do we use a or an article? We use a or an. We use an article. We use an article in vowel sounds. We use an article in vowel sounds, and we use a article in consonant sounds. We use a article in consonant sounds. All right. So vowel sounds, it means there are 5 vowel sounds in English: A, E, I, O, and U. A, E, I, O, U. These are the 5 vowel sounds in English. So 5 vowel sounds has 5 sounds, 5 letters: A, E, I, O, U. These are 5 letters in English, and these 5 letters have 5 sounds. A says A. Repeat after me. A says A.
A says A.
E says A.
E says A.
I says E.
I says E.
O says A.
O says O.
U says A.
U says A.
If you find these sounds at the beginning of the common noun, if you find these sounds at the beginning of the common noun, then you have to use an article. Okay, like engineer, an engineer.
An engineer.
Okay, elephant, an elephant.
An elephant.
Okay, but U has 2 sounds. U has 2 sounds. One, this is a vowel sound. U says A is a vowel sound, but U has one consonant sound also. U says year, as in university. If it is a sound of year, then we have to use a article, and if it is a sound of a, then you have to use an article. Got it?
Yes.
Just repeat after me. Engineer, an engineer.
Engineer, an engineer.
Elephant, an elephant.
An elephant.
Actor, an actor.
Actor, an actor.
University, a university.
University, a university.
Umpire, an umpire.
Umpire, an umpire.
Unit, a unit.
Unit, a unit.
Umbrella, an umbrella.
Umbrella, an umbrella.
House, a house.
House, a house.
Hour, an hour.
Hours, an hours.
Mango, a mango.
Mango, a mango.
MLA, an MLA.
MLA, an MLA.
Got it? Now you are going to make the, okay, just a minute. Table, a table.
Table, a table.
Pen, a pen.
Pen, a pen.
University, a university.
University, a university.
Got it? Now you are going to tell me the, you are going to add a or and to these common nouns, all right?
Okay, sir.
So I will say you teacher, and you have to add a or an article to these common nouns. Okay, teacher.
A teacher.
Accountant.
Accountant.
An accountant.
An accountant.
Correct. Electrician.
An electrician.
Okay. Businessman.
A businessman.
Grocer.
A grocer.
Umpire.
An umpire.
Receptionist.
A receptionist.
Actor.
An actor.
Banker.
A banker.
Exporter.
An exporter.
Correct. Doctor.
A doctor.
Player.
A player.
Author.
An author.
Postman.
A postman.
Professor.
A professor.
Doctor.
A doctor.
Librarian.
A librarian.
Actress.
An actress.
Entertainer.
An entertainer.
Painter.
A painter.
Policeman.
A policeman.
Pilot.
A pilot.
Employer.
An employer.
Worker.
A worker.
Educator.
An educator.
Tailor.
A tailor.
Editor.
An editor.
Okay. Peon.
A peon.
Executive.
An executive.
Maid.
A maid.
Architect.
An architect.
Okay. Actress.
An actress.
student,
a student,
industrialist,
an industrialist,
animator,
an animator,
nurse,
a nurse,
examiner,
an examiner,
lecturer,
a lecturer,
fisherman,
a fisherman,
operator,
an operator,
officer,
an officer,
worker,
a worker,
manager,
a manager,
owner,
an owner,
economist,
an economist,
okay, potter,
a economist होगा,
an economist, okay, potter,
a potter,
okay, entrepreneur,
an entrepreneur,
okay, bookkeeper,
a bookkeeper,
drummer,
a drummer,
optician.
an optician.
Got it? So in this way we talked about all the a or an article, but there are more other rules. I'm going to explain you more other rules. So we use a or an article only in the singular common noun. With the singular common noun only we use the a or an article. We do not use a or an article with the plurals. This is very important rule. Third important rule is we use a or an article only with the common nouns. We do not use a or an article with the proper nouns. Like student, we can say a student, but Sunil, we cannot say a Sunil because it is a proper noun. City,
Yes,
we can say a city, but we cannot use a Pune because Pune is a proper noun, right? So in द्रव्यवाचक and भाववाचक, it means abstract noun. म्हणजे with the liquids and with the feelings, we cannot use a or an articles. That is called in English abstract noun. Okay, so milk, confidence, sorrow, poverty, you cannot use any article. Any article, it means a or an article. You can use the article, but you cannot use a or an article. All right. Now next we are going to make the sentences. Okay, just repeat after me. This is a bingo game.
This is a bingo game.
That is a bingo game.
That is a bingo game.
There is a bingo game. Unmute yours. There is a bingo game.
There is a bingo game.
Here is a bingo game.
Here is a bingo game.
This isn't a bingo game.
This is not a bingo game.
That is not a bingo game.
That is not a bingo game.
There isn't a bingo game.
There isn't a bingo game.
Here isn't a bingo game.
Here isn't a bingo game.
Okay, make the sentences quick. This is an idiot box.
This is an idiot box. That is an idiot box. There is an idiot box. Here is an idiot box. This is not an idiot box. That is not an idiot box. There is not idiot box. An idiot box. Here is not an idiot box. This is a good job. That is a good job. There is a good job. Here is a good job. This is not a good job. That is not a good job. There is not a good job. Here is not a good job. This is a rotten plum.
This is correct.
That is a rotten plum. There is a rotten plum. Here is a rotten plum. This is not a rotten plum. That is not a rotten plum. There is not a rotten plum. Here is not a rotten plum. This is an
this is a used
an ही होगा ना सर?
हाँ, क्यों होगा? क्योंकि इसका उच्चारण यह है ना.
हाँ, you. This is a used work.
Used fork.
Fork. Okay, that is a used fork. There is a used fork. Here is a used fork. This is not a used fork. That is not a used fork. There is not a used fork. Here is not a used fork. This is an uncle. That is an uncle. Sir, uncle.
An uncle आएगा इधर.
There is an uncle. Here is an uncle. This is not an uncle. That is not an uncle. There is not an uncle. Here is not an uncle. This is a historian. That is a historian. There is an historian. Here is an historian. This is not a historian. that is not a historian. There is not a historian. Here is not a historian. This is an apple. That is an apple. There is an apple. Here is an apple. This is not an apple. That is not an apple. There is not an apple. Here is not an apple.
Yeah, make the next sentences quick.
This is a horrible movie. That is a horrible movie. There is a horrible movie. Here is a horrible movie. This is not a horrible movie. That is not a horrible movie. There is not a horrible movie. There is not a horrible movie. Here is not a horrible movies. This is an opera. This is not an. This is an opera. There is an opera. Here is an opera. This is not an opera. That is not an opera. There is not an opera. Here is not an opera. This is a fine opera. That is a fine opera. There is a fine opera. Here is a fine opera. This is not a fine opera. That is not a fine opera. There is not fine opera. Here is not a fine opera. This is a television. That is a television. There is a television. Here is a television. This is not television. That is not television. There is not a television. Here is not television. This is an earthquake. That is an earthquake. There is an earthquake. Here is an earthquake. This is not an earthquake. That is not an earthquake. There is not an earthquake. Here is not an earthquake. This is a plant. That is a plant. There is a plant. Here is a plant. This is not a plant. That is not a plant. There is not a plant. Here is not a plant. This is an honorable man. That is an honorable man. There is an honorable man. Here is an honorable man. This is not an honorable man. That is not an honorable man. There is not an honorable man. Here is not an honorable man. This is an intelligent boy. That is an intelligent boy. There is an intelligent boy. Here is an intelligent boy. This is not an intelligent boy. That is not an intelligent boy. There is not an intelligent boy. Here is not an intelligent boy. This is a table. That is a table. There is a table. Here is a table. This is not a table. That is not a table. There is not a table. Here is not a table. This is a paper clip. That is a paper clip. There is a paper clip. Here is a paper clip. This is not a paper clip. That is not a paper clip. There is not a paper clip. Here is not a paper
Okay,
clip.
got it. So in this way, we have talked today about all the article and a or an article. All right.